Homeschool, just homeschool your kids. Just homeschool your kids. Okay, this is gonna be a little bit of a spicy video, I guess. Maybe I'm gonna be a little bit more aggressive with it, I guess. I'm gonna destroy and dismantle every single BS claim for people who want to just say that you can just homeschool, bro, just homeschool your kids. So I have two young children. One of them is not of school age yet. He's not even 1 year old yet. And then I have another child who is a 4-year-old, and he's just going to a pre-K right now. So the consensus, someone was posting on Twitter, and then there's a tweet that actually kind of sparked this whole thing, and I don't feel bothered to try to post the tweet or whatever. But basically, the tweet was like someone was talking about school for some reason. And someone said, "Well, just homeschool, bro. Everybody homeschool. Everybody just homeschool. Homeschool is so easy. Just homeschool." Okay, not a solution. My exact tweet was not a solution for everyone. I admire people who can do that, but you have to have other solutions. And this, let me see if I can find this. I'm actually going to read this reply because this one was very ignorant. It's a choice. Might not be easy, but it's worth it. How much do your child's life mean to you? Is that the question? As if my child's life means less to me than someone who is homeschooling. Now, in my scenario, I would prefer to homeschool, and I may homeschool my children when they get a little bit older. But right now, in this current situation, the way things are, the logistics of everything. My 4-year-old is going to public school, and my youngest is going to daycare right now because we both work. That is just how it works. But this ignorant BS that people spew, the ignorant stuff that people just spew about, just homeschool your kids, and then okay, well, how do I do that if I'm someone who is and the reason that I would gladly allow my kids to homeschool, and I would gladly be able to allow my kids to homeschool if we had generational wealth. Which, if you want to watch my videos talking about generational wealth, listen to those, and maybe read some of my Substack, and I kind of expound upon some of that kind of stuff. But generational wealth, definitely is a determinant factor of some of these things. And it's why I'm such a big advocate for this kind of stuff. I would love to homeschool my kids, but it is not financially viable nor feasible for me to do so at this time. Because my wife goes to work, and I go to work, and we do our thing. We try to we do a little bit better than getting by. I'll say that about sort of my financial situation. I do a little bit better than getting by. I'm not broke as a joke, but I'm not rich either. So. It's just something that have to go through, have to deal with, and I'm trying to accumulate wealth over time. And that's a struggle. That's a struggle when you do that. But anyways, aside from that, this ignorance of people saying oh, just homeschool, bro, and then okay, well, how do I do that? And I already know the response. I already know what people are going to say. Well, okay, if you can't do it, if you can't homeschool your kids yourself, what you need to do is you need to form with other homeschool parents in your community and get together and make a curriculum or whatever with them. Okay, guess what? You just invented public school. There you go. There you go. You just invented public school, you idiot. You just invented a public school. That's basically what you just created. You moron. You you walk right into it. You're just like, well, you created a public school basically, and it's almost the same thing. It's not a bad idea. I'm not saying it's a bad idea, but I'm a little bit heated because this kind of stuff really irks me, because people are trying to say that I don't love my kids because I can't afford to just homeschool my kids, especially at such a young age. Whenever we have to move them around, my wife has to go to school, go to teach. She's a teacher at a school, and then she brings our son to the same school that she works at. So, the logistics of that just work, and he's able to go to school, and I don't think it's necessarily a terrible thing. Although I do think he could probably be learning more if he were able to kind of be under my wing and under my tutelage, or like being able to, um, do offer some things for him if we actually had a plan and a curriculum that would streamline, like making him, he could be really smart. Like, I mean, he's pretty smart. Like our son is pretty smart, but like he could be, really, you know, really good at stuff, and more organized, and there could be a lot more benefits to being homeschooled. I do believe, and I know I would prefer my children to homeschool, because I like some things that I think, like Michael Malice says this, of like, only time that kids experience like physical violence is generally in public schools. So I do think that public schools do kind of create some of these problems, but those problems also have previously been mitigated. But because of our polite culture nowadays, you can't solve those problems anymore. Like a teacher, punishing a kid is seen very bad. Like any form of punishment, doesn't matter what it is. Whether it be punishments for not obeying dress code, which is a big ordeal. I admit that it's not like the cleanest thing to do, like to have, like, okay, well, it's got to be straps, yeah, all that kind of stuff. A lot of it's annoying. There's a lot of little annoyances about public schools and the rules and regulations and those kind of things, and sometimes the enforcement isn't fair. Some kids have a privilege in the public school because their parents are either a teacher, or they have certain privileges, because of who they are and who they know. Those are just kind of things that happen in a public school setting that wouldn't happen in a homeschool setting. And while I would like to be able to homeschool, and would like to have that sort of curriculum, and be able to maybe partner with parents in the community and do those kind of things, do events, go to see certain things, maybe have field trips and stuff like that. It is just not feasible. It's not viable. It's not we're not capable of doing so. And that's just the fundamental fact of it, is we can't do it. It's just not logistically possible, or economically feasible. So when people say this kind of ignorant stuff, this is why you get such opposition, and this is why no one comes to your side, and no one's going to be at your aid, because when you just say, just homeschool, bro, you're not offering real solutions. You're not actually helping the person. You're just saying, just homeschool, bro, homeschool, go, bro, homeschool. It just makes me mad, because like you guys aren't considering anyone else in any other situation other than being extremely wealthy. Either you're extremely wealthy and you can afford this, or you're so broke that it doesn't matter. I mean, or whatever. Like you don't have to worry about, like, okay, I need to go to work, I need to get paid, I need to pay the mortgage. Maybe y'all got mama and daddy's money that y'all are able to homeschool. Maybe y'all are lucky like that, or mom and daddy paid for your house. That would be really nice. I hope, I wish you the best. You had a good thinking mother and father who actually saved generational wealth for you, like I'm talking about. I do think that's important. That's why I'm going to help my kids as they grow up. And I plan to really be there for them and help them along the way. But this is just not a viable strategy. And it doesn't scale to any, like, it's not scalable to say, just homeschool, bro, just homeschool, everybody homeschool, everybody have their kids homeschool. Well, okay, what about the people that have to go to work? What about it? If there are two parents that have to work, what do they do? What's the strategy? You have to have real solutions for real people. You can't do fake solutions, or just cop outs of like, just homeschool, bro, everything's easier when you homeschool. Okay, well, my wife and I need to work so I can pay the mortgage and pay for everything that we have to spend in the month. I gotta pay the car bill, finish off the car payments, and finish off this kind of stuff. And yeah, you can say, okay, well, you should have planned better for that, and then you wouldn't be in this. Okay, well, yeah, yes, maybe I would have. But I wasn't, much like many other people, I didn't learn until I got in the real world how financial, like how finance works, to really get my personal finance in order. So now that I've just now kind of got it in order, it's going to be a few years before I can actually have this sort of viable way of doing that. And even then, is it going to be feasible for my wife to quit work and do this kind of stuff? I don't know. So really, what I'm hoping for, from in my case, I'm just going to wait till my kids are a little bit older. They can go to public school for now, and when they get a little bit older, where I can trust them to kind of sit here in the house and do the work that I ask them to do, then maybe I will homeschool them. But until that point, until they get old enough where they can stay here, and I can trust them to do the kind of things that I need them to do, and say, hey, here are your assignments and this kind of stuff, until they're old enough to understand that and go along with that, then I have to send them to public school for now. So that's why these kind of statements are, okay, I'm on your side. I do want to homeschool. I do think that it's probably the better way. But these kind of ignorant statements and this kind of BS that you spew about, like, just homeschool, bro, just homeschool. Yeah, it doesn't matter if you can't afford it, whatever. That's on you. You don't love your kids. It's an ignorant statement, and you need to shut up if you're going to say that. Honestly, just shut up. Don't offer any more opinions. Go the hell away. Literally delete your account. I'm not even kidding. If you're going to spew this nonsense on like Twitter or whatever, you may as well just delete your account. I don't care about you, because you're useless. You're actually you're worse than useless, because you're actually you're sabotaging people. Because instead of saying, okay, well, we'll work on something, we'll try to get something that is scalable for everyone. Whatever it may be, you try to get something to where it's viable for everyone to send their kids to school. And I think part of it is reducing school sizes. Not every school needs to be like a five. Like, there are 5A schools where like some kids don't even matter, and this is why why do you think that some kids go crazy or whatever? Because they don't matter. No, they're just a number in that system. A lot of these schools could be more local. They could be like in the community. You don't need a big mega school for like a high school or elementary school. Like, you don't need a big mega school. Those are much more tangible solutions. I would definitely recommend stuff like that, like breaking these schools off into tinier sections. Maybe okay, this community has their own little high school. That community has their own little high school. And that way, everybody in the high school knows each other. It's a tight knit community, very small, focused on the people that live around the area, and hopefully it can solve a lot of those problems, instead of having throwing 30 kids in a class or 40 kids in a class sometimes, and just saying like, okay, well, let's roll with it, and then having 50 of those classes. It's just not viable. It's not feasible. It's not something that's positive for the kids in the class. So I think that those are more real solutions, like breaking these schools apart and doing these kind of things. I don't know if it's a lot of it would be dependent on how the logistics of that work. That's also a case to consider. You have to think about all these things, unlike just someone who can just go, just homeschool, bro. That doesn't think like that. That's like one level, like first level thinking. No, the people that can get past first level thinking, you pass this test. If you can say, well, hold on a minute, like not everybody can just homeschool. Like there are logistics. We do have to think about these things. We do have to consider a lot of these things. I think that's a much more positive, perspective to have on things. Because do you really want a bunch of people just leaving their kids at home alone and saying, well, kids, you're homeschooled, leaving 5-year-olds like to just do whatever they want? Okay, well, kids, here, go nuts. Here's your homeschool assignments. And then a 5-year-old, what if he gets into the scissors? Whatever. Like that's not scalable. It's not feasible. So stop saying it. We're on. No. Or I'll delete your account for you. No, just kidding. I'm not a hacker. This is all jokes. Like all that's jokes. But seriously, if you're gonna spew this nonsense, you're really useless, and you don't need to have your Twitter account. Probably need to delete it. Go touch grass, as the kids say. Although it's raining outside here, so it would probably be wet grass. So you'd smell like a wet dog. But anyway, that's the rant for the day. Hope you enjoyed this little rant. I get a little bit animated in this one. because this kind of stuff matters to me, because I love my kids to death. I absolutely love my children. And to say that I don't love my kids because I can't homeschool them yet, and because I would like to homeschool them later, but I just don't have the capability right now. That's just ignorant, and it's very rude to say that I don't love my kids. So don't do that kind of stuff, and you won't burn these kind of bridges and make enemies out of people who would otherwise be allies. But that's the TED Talk for the day. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please hit like on the video if you've enjoyed this rant. Subscribe to the channel. Also, click the bell for notifications if you actually want to follow this channel, and check the links in the description for all the other everywhere else that I post. But that's all I have for today. This is Trey from Trey's Think Tank, signing out.